It's no secret that Danica Patrick had some horrible hits throughout her almost decade-long NASCAR career. Today, we're going to take a look at the hardest crashes she had. Note that this is not a hate video by any means. Most of these wrecks were not even her fault, but it is wild to think of all the big wrecks she was involved in. Also, right before the video starts, make sure you leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And now, let's get right into it.
Still has a long way to go.
Look out, Danica gets turned hard.
Danica Patrick.
On the brake.
She was running 14th. Stenhouse is involved. The 10. Ricky Carmichael's involved.
While Danica Patrick was still racing full-time in the IndyCar, she started racing part-time with Junior Motorsports. Danica just got turned in the top 15 with 10 laps to go at the second Fontana race. The 09 of Brian Scott got into James Buescher, who turned Danica around. She ended up collecting motocross champion Ricky Carmichael and future boyfriend Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Danica had a rough year in NASCAR and IndyCar. She finished 10th in IndyCar standings compared to 5th a year prior, and had an average finish of 28th in 13 nationwide starts.
They made a good call by bringing it in. Now we have a caution.
Hold the brake, hold the brake, hold the brake.
And it's Danica Patrick, the first time this year she has tagged the wall.
You okay?
In 2011, Danica Patrick would see her first top 5 in another part-time season for Junior Motorsports at Las Vegas, but the next week she got junked at one of NASCAR's trickiest tracks. She hit at a super hard angle, and the front of her car almost got caught on the wall, it looks like. Danica ran much better in 2011 overall. Her average finish climbed from 28th to 17th, and she collected 3 top 10s. 2011 would be her last full-time season in IndyCar, and in 2012, she had turned her attention to NASCAR. And it didn't get off to a good start.
Yeah, watch the run these drivers get that are lined up. Here comes Dale Earnhardt Jr. right there in the 88. Watch Bernie.
Here we go.
And she's all right after a hard crash, and the caution flag is out.
McMurray seemed to move down into Amarola, who turned down into Patrick, and she hit the inside wall a ton. Luckily, she hit a safer barrier. Danica ran full-time for Junior Motorsports in the Nationwide Series in 2012, and ran a part-time schedule in Cup. She actually raced 10 races for Tommy Baldwin Racing on the Cup stage, not SHR.
Trouble 15, Jeffrey Earnhardt. Danica. And more.
All right, just get it straight if you can. I think we're done there. We got turned to the inside.
Later in 2012, Danica would have another hard hit to the inside wall at Daytona. After Ricky Stenhouse Jr. spun his second car of the day, Danica Patrick turned hard to the left to avoid the spinning 15. However, there was a car to her inside, and she went to the inside wall. It looked like she had a better chance to save this car than the one in the duel.
On the racetrack, Danica Patrick in the wall. But yes, you're right. Danica Patrick hard into the wall.
Open. Got into
The
there.
98 of Reed
Got a pretty good
Sorensen also there.
I can't drive it.
Danica Patrick's return to Indy didn't go very well. She just got into the corner too deep and spun Reed Sorensen around. She tried to go high to avoid the spinning car, but Reed's car chased her. Reed's car pushed Danica hard to the outside wall. It looked like Reed just overcorrected his car and shot up the track. Overall, Danica Patrick's anticipated return to the Brickyard was rough. A 20th place start, followed by a crash before the halfway mark.
These corners. Ooh, trouble, turn 1. Danica Patrick, Landon Castle tangled up. Castle going for a slide.
Okay, we did not hit anything. Did not hit anything.
It looked like Danica had a chance of not hitting anything, but just went back up on the track.
Yeah, I guess 2012 was just a bad year for Patrick. After Landon Castle made contact with Danica, she attempted to retaliate. She spun Castle around and herself. She had an opportunity to save her car, or at least just spin to the apron and drive away, but ended up destroying her own car. coming from racing a non-contact motorsport in IndyCar and competing for podiums, to racing near the back in a full contact motorsport must have been difficult. And we've seen poor decisions by young drivers like this time and time again.
7th low, treble front straightaway, big pile up. Danica Patrick and the 34 of David Reagan.
You're all set.
Blue right front.
Aye, 10-4.
This wreck will make you cringe. Danica blew a tire at the worst possible spot at Phoenix. Then soon after, she got rear-ended by David Reagan. Reagan just climbed up the side of her car. The car changes directions almost instantly. Just a very hard impact.
Crash out of turn number 4. A multi-car pileup. Eric Almirola, his car all torn up. That is Michael Waltrip, who will not win his 3rd Daytona 500.
After a big one broke out, Danica Patrick almost made it through the wreck until Eric Almirola tagged the right side of her car and she went straight into the wall. This seemed like another wreck where she probably could have avoided significant contact with the wall if she had just turned hard to the left and got hard onto the brakes.
Oh, into the wall goes the 10, and 10 is hit as well as she was coming back down the track. Danica Patrick. Looked as though the 55 of David Reagan made contact with Danica as she was coming down the track.
If a NASCAR car had a trunk, Danica's car wouldn't have one after this one. Gordon and Newman were racing under Danica in the 2015 Loudon race, and Newman got into the back of her. It just looks like Newman got into the corner a little too deep and chased his car up the hill. She got turned around, went up into the wall, and slid down the track. This was straight into the path of David Reagan. The impact disintegrated the back end of her car and tore off the right side of Reagan's car. As a result, the race had to go to red flag conditions to clean up the wreck.
We got a spin, turn 1, up and into the wall, hard.
Wow.
It's Danica Patrick.
We can hear a tire down here.
I was going to say, was that another tire?
It sounds like it.
She was in 19th.
She was running 19.
Fontana in 2016 was another example of Danica just getting dumped. Evidently, Casey Kane thought he was clear and tried to cut down the track. When he moved over, he right rear hooked her straight into the wall. This wreck looks very similar to Austin Dillon's wreck after contact with Brad Keselowski just a couple of years ago. Anyway, 2016 was a dreadful year for Danica. It was the only full-time season of her career in the Cup Series that she did not have a single top 10 finish.
Whoa, there's...
And around she goes, into Kenseth,
Oh, gosh.
up in the air and into the wall, hard.
Man, Kenseth.
Man, I thought he was going to catch the catch fence back there. The way it landed was...
I am not believing that.
To make 2016 even worse, Danica had one of the hardest crashes of her career. She went straight into the wall, very similar to Eric McClure in the Nationwide Series. McDowell just got into the rear of her, clipped her, and she got into Kenseth. Kenseth got into the air and flipped, but Danica was just a magnet to the inside wall.
Crowded up there in the front right now with the 42. Oh,
Whoa,
trouble.
big crash. Danica Patrick and Joey Logano
Oh, man.
and Eric Almirola.
Holy smoly. Oh, heavy damage there on Danica.
In 2017 at Kansas, something broke on Joey Logano's car, which made him turn directly to the left into Danica's right rear. This turned her hard into the outside wall once again. After Logano and Patrick were done wrecking, Eric Almirola came flying in. Unfortunately for Almirola, he would miss 8 races as a result of the crash because of a serious back injury. Danica was understandably frustrated, but she was met with backlash after being seemingly unconcerned for Eric in her post-race interview. Anyways guys, that's it for this video. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, make sure you leave a like and subscribe so you never miss a video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.